So how much is the salary for Chinese working in Mexico? In this video, I'm gonna reveal to you that information. Ooh, in any case that you wanna come and work here, there are different positions, of course, and for each position, there are different salaries. Anyhow, let's go down to business. I was watching this TikTok video, or Douyin video, better said, about a China man living here in Mexico and working here for already a few years. And somehow he says, like, for Chinese, it's quite easy to find a position because in Mexico, there is somehow a lack or scarcity of like efficient, productive workforce. So basically, he's saying like Mexican workers are not as productive as expected, of course, and at least not for their expectations. And it's fair and obvious, like very few nationalities work up to standards, up to the Chinese standards. So there's nothing personal about it. I just communicate the information. And they say, like he says, there was a saying among Chinese here that for every 5 Mexicans, or like the work of 5 Mexicans equals the work of 1 Chinese. Better said is like if you have 1 Chinese employee can make up to 5 times what 5 Mexican employees can. Am I being clear? Anyhow, somehow it's like 5 Mexicans equal 1 Chinese, or 1 Chinese equals 5 Mexicans. So of course, somehow he says they will prefer Chinese workers because they are more productive, efficient, faster. They are just used to this kind of pace, this kind of freedom, this kind of work ethic, like just non-stop, you know. Compared to Mexicans, I have to admit, at times you go into shop here and the clerk or the lady is just watching this phone and she wouldn't mind you or will not pay that much attention to you, and they are not very driven by sales, I guess, because they also lack of incentives. Just like in China, for every clerk or salesperson there will be somehow a bonus, a commission upon sales. Here that might be for some places but not for all, so it doesn't matter to them as long as they are working. They're just, you know, completing what is that their job is, and they don't feel the necessity or the need to drive in sales or be that proactive. This is my own 2 cents. Anyhow, he was saying also that, first of all, it wasn't that easy for Chinese to take the Mexican visa. It was one of the hardest to take in the world. He said that. I'm not sure whether it's true or not. You guys tell me. And second, because it's so hard to take, there is little Chinese workforce in here, little workers, not as many as they would like, since it's not easy for them to come over. But the ones that come over are very well received and they are just employed ASAP. And he said one of the most popular ways to be employed is in those like China markets, China warehouses, where basically they need someone, especially for like as a manager position, to take very good look of the products, of the money, and to control and monitor the workers, the Mexican workers, because somehow Chinese Laoban or Chinese owners are not very trustable of them, since yes, this is a problem in Mexico. Even some of my clients or like friends that are own businesses are aware. Even my family in Uruapan, we have shops, and from time to time they say like, oh, this employee just stole this much and this and that, no? So it's a constant concern that people here is kind of whenever you're not aware of, they take something. So the Chinese are somehow knowledgeable about this situation, and they will prefer to work with a Chinese manager to manage this whole shop and be aware that products or money or are not being taken away, as well as employees are working, not just laying back and being comfortable without being that proactive. But this somehow is complex because I also published this same video in my Spanish channel, and they were like, yeah, Chinese want us to work that much. We are not used to that. If we are not doing something, they think we are lying back, but there's not much to do, and this and that. So this dilemma kind of brings me to the conclusion that if they are requiring, wanting, wishing, willing to employ more Chinese because of the big gap that one Chinese, how to say, one Chinese worker can do what 5 Mexican workers can, then they will be employing more and more Chinese. The more they come, the more they will be employing, and the less jobs will be left for the Mexicans. That is one thing. And the second is like, if this happens, then the Mexican company and the Mexican owner plus the Mexican employees will be competing with the Chinese owner and the Chinese employees, and the competition will be harder because the standards and work ethic of this team will just be out of reach from this team. You know what I mean? I feel like this is gonna be coming for next years or next months. I just saw that so many Chinese are willing to come. I saw in social media, like, I want to go. They seem like Mexico is a flourishing market. People inviting them, people also telling them that, oh, by the way, he also said, like, you can get this kind of job as the manager of this warehouse shop. Plus, not just that, hold on, I'll go to the salary part. You will get voucher, which basically means you will have food and like somewhere to sleep and somewhere to eat, like food and home will be provided to you. So you don't have there like a dorm, just like back in China that they have this dorm kind of modality. Usually companies there will employ employees, and because of the like distance, sometimes employees live very far away. It's quite troublesome for them to come and go. They just have a dorm special for them to sleep there and work more and rest more. So he said that also this same modus operandi work here, that you can arrive to Mexico without knowing any Spanish, and you can directly start working in these manager positions of these big shops with these chongguo laoban, chongguo like Chinese bosses, and you will be taken care of your place, like there will be a home provided for you or a dorm, a room, plus food. So everything seems so easy. You just need a visa then. You don't even need to speak the language. So the salary is 10,000 RMB to 15,000 RMB, which basically means like 30,000 peso to 45,000 peso, plus a room and food. What do you guys think about this? This is crazy because I'm not very sure whether or not there are these kind of positions available for us foreigners, not knowing any kind of Chinese. If we if we were wishing or willing to go and work in China, and we will find a position just as easy as that, because we are what we are, Mexican, USA, Australian, etc., USA American. So just because they're Chinese, they require them here because of the work ethic, their productivity, their efficiency, and because they trust them more than us. So wow, it's just crazy. Okay, so the next job, if you get to understand Spanish, then you can be a translator. You can work at part-time with a company, talking business, etc., and that will be a salary of 20,000 to 30,000 renminbi, which basically means like 60,000 peso to like 90,000 peso approx. And if you have previous experience working in China and you do have the knowledge of Spanish and you can get a professional job here, meaning a company will hire you, then you can earn, like as a manager, you can earn 30,000 to 50,000 RMB, which is about 90,000 peso to 150,000 peso. And if you are a super boss back in China, a manager of high rank, you can speak English, you can speak Spanish, you have a background with experience, and you can get those kind of jobs in factories as a manager of production or such and such, then you don't have to think about it. You can get millions a year.